Welcome to the podcast, everyone. I am Myra, and I'm very excited. Wendy and Metatron are back.
Back at the house.
Yes, yes. We got a little delay, but we had this date on the schedule, and we're very excited. We've got a whole new set of questions from Metatron today.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm always excited for that. And I'm funny because I usually don't watch the things that I do, but I go back and I listen to the snippets that get posted and I'm like, wow, that's
Yes.
pretty cool.
I know you
Yeah,
have someone that does that for you, so it's cool to,
good.
yeah, to hear what he answers, how he. We've learned so much from Metatron. It's really incredible. We're getting more and more people that love, love, love this series. So thank you again, Wendy and Metatron. Thank you.
I have such a great time and thank you for continuing to invite us back, Myra.
Of
I love
course.
being here with you.
Oh, thank you. I love it too. So, what do you have going on, Wendy? What's coming up? I know you're getting ready to go to Sedona.
Going to Sedona
Mhm.
and gonna be there through Halloween, through the end of the month. I'm like, wow, the Day of the Dead, all of that in Sedona. I can't wait
Mm.
to see what happens. It's gonna be
Oh,
really
wow.
great. I am launching a year-long program for next year called Transcending the Veil. It meets bi-weekly for 2 hours. Really, really excited about that. It's a really deep dive into our personal spirituality and personal evolutionary process. And I'm going to be co-facilitating several retreats next year. Uh, to France for the Feast of the Magdalene. We're
Mm,
going to Virginia Beach for some Akashic record reading and to go see Edgar Casey Center and Shasta. We're going to go to Shasta. So lots of really cool things coming up. I'm
I
really,
love that.
really excited about next year. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And I love retreat, just meeting like-minded people. It was so exciting meeting you also in person when we went to the Tetons. That was still, I look back at those photos, and in fact, you know what I did? I actually I was looking at my website 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I it needs color. I need a pop of color, and I'm like, let me see what I have, and looking through my photos. Okay, and the Tetons and all the lakes that we visited when we were there. I mean, these crystal clear with the beautiful stones underneath, the colors just popping. And so I chose one. I chose one. I think it was Jenny Lake, and I put it on right on my first page when you put in, and it just kind of gave this pop of color to the website. So I
Yeah.
think I'm going to incorporate, because it's so special to take that energy of what we experience there and infuse it into my website. What a great idea.
Yeah. That is a great idea. And that was
Mhm.
just, I'd really like to go back. I'd like to go back and spend more time there. It was really,
Yeah,
really magical.
it was magical. The
It
group
was,
was
yeah.
magical. It was
Hmm.
wonderful. Mm.
Absolutely. So,
So let me ask you a question about this year-long program. Who would be the perfect person to, besides all of us probably need it, but who would be the person that really, really gets something out of it?
okay. It's the person that knows there's something else available to them. They're looking for how to really step out on their path and illuminate all of those things within them that they've been searching for a really long time. And also, I've had some people sign up, and these are people who have done other programs, and so they're pretty cool in what they know and how they are in the world. And so I'm hoping that there's just a really nice mix. People that are just starting out, people that are really serious about their ascension, and it's going to be taught by, of course, Metatron, Mother Maya, Elijah, Melchizedek, and
Wow.
mm, yeah, I'm just going to be sitting there and taking notes because
Sure.
they're the
They're
ones
coming
that are
through.
creating the curriculum and creating the teachings, and so this is all going to be higher level information and understanding. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's
I'm
incredible.
really excited. It's the first time I'm doing this. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm already feeling Metatron right now. Do you feel that? I do.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like I get excited talking about something, and he's like,
Oh, I feel, yeah. Yeah, he's all around me right now. I love it.
yeah.
How is he doing these days in our timeline? How is Metatron doing?
He's always doing well, like he says, but he's been doing some just extraordinary work with people. I'm I'm just blown away at how he continues to evolve in not only our relationship, but relationship with other people as well. And the information that he's bringing forward. And I've had lots of people reaching out recently saying, Metatron told me X, but I didn't pay any attention. And then, you know, I asked somebody else and they said the exact same thing. So it's like this, there's a coming together of guidance in the way that they are supporting us. And Metatron's right there for everything, right? To guide us, to protect us, to teach us. So I'm really excited. Plus, and you might notice it today, Myra, that he's seeding his energy differently.
Oh, he
It's like,
is.
yeah, yeah. Now when he leaves, he makes me yawn. And it's like
Mm.
a disconnect from my solar plexus when he does that. It's almost like, he's
Oh.
up and out. It's
Mhm.
very different than how it used to be even just a year ago, right? So
Mm.
so channeling will always continue to evolve.
That's
Mhm.
incredible. Interesting. All right. Well, I think we're ready for him.
All right. I'm going to ask for everyone's forbearance because it's really dry and my throat's a little scratchy today. So yeah, enjoy yourself. Have a good time.
Thank you. And for those of you listening, there's going to be a pause while she brings him in.
All right. Good day to you.
Good day, Metatron.
Good to see you, beloved one.
Thank you. I know we skipped a little bit, but we are here again, and I'm very honored to be here always.
How's our week? Each and every time. Right?
Yes, I was feeling you.
Good. That means we're paying attention, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes. All right. So I'm just going to get right to our questions.
Okay.
So, Metatron, someone here is asking about the progression of a soul. I assume they're asking from when it's, you know, born, whether it's or created. Sorry, born is
Okay.
not the right. Created, when the soul is created. What is the progression of the soul? What does it want? And how does it move into different phases? Does it?
It does. It does. The soul is the aspect of you that evolves. right? The human part of you might think that you're evolving, you're transcending, but really it is happening at the soul level. And
Mhm.
all souls come from one soul, right? So birthed, born, however you want to look at it, it's not, you know, it's all God, all God.
Mhm.
And so what occurs is that there is a journey that takes place of the individuated souls, right?
Okay.
And the journey is always to expand the consciousness, right? To continue to become, because source is never static. Source is always expanding and growing and ascending. And so is the soul. All of your angels, ascended masters are having the same experience of continuing to expand. There's never any stopping. Right?
Mhm.
And so the journeys that the soul takes, mm, it gathers information, it gathers experiences, and takes it home to the whole,
Mhm.
right? It
Yes.
becomes like the fuel for everyone's growth, right?
Mhm.
Your soul fuels everyone's,
Okay.
okay?
Are there souls that are reluctant to come into a human body here on Earth? And
Yeah,
can we
yeah,
talk a little
yeah.
bit about that?
Yeah, there's, the understanding that there is a period of time that the soul creates the next incarnation,
Mhm.
right? And creates thousands upon thousands of scenarios and possibilities, relationships and experiences. And
Okay.
so many of the souls have had difficult lifetimes in the physical realm. And so they return with a bit of trepidation, right? They
Mhm.
still are connected to some of the old wounds. And you know
Mhm.
how that works,
Yes.
right? And so, yeah, there are some souls that return with some trepidation. But ultimately, the soul aspect has no fear,
Mhm. Okay.
right? Has no
Mhm.
fear. And the soul aspect doesn't really resist, but it understands that it can make different choices.
Mhm.
So it may look at everything that it's created for the possible next incarnation and say, I'm going to erase that and we're going to Venus.
Mhm.
We're going to go to another
Yes.
dimension. We're going to do something different. We're not going to go back to Earth in this moment. Okay?
Mhm.
The soul can choose. Free will, always. Right?
Yeah. So someone had, I think the person that asked this question had, well, let me see. I don't know if it's part of their belief system. Maybe it might be tied to a religion of how they think
Mhm,
a soul progresses. But
mhm.
what they're being taught is that it would be mm, like first experience itself as a bacteria, like lower level consciousness, then plants, then animals, before it becomes some sort of human species. Is that at all true?
No, not
No.
necessarily. Not necessarily. It all depends on what the soul chooses. The soul is sovereign. The soul is God. So it doesn't have to start as an amoeba to prove itself, right?
Mhm.
But it can come as an amoeba to have that experience, right? And so the soul can incarnate however it chooses to incarnate,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
A soul incarnates into the crystalline structure of Gaia.
Mm.
Do you know how long that takes for the soul to be complete with that journey?
No.
Very, very long time.
Mm.
Very, very long time. Whereas coming into human physical form, it's it goes much more quickly. So
Hmm.
the soul gets to, decide and have the different experiences, right? There's no right or wrong of it, no real hierarchy either. And we know that there's different teachings and understandings about this kind of soul and that kind of soul. And we encourage everyone to to embrace their beliefs, right? We're not here to tell anyone that they're wrong,
Hmm.
but we would just ask people to, remember that the soul is that thread of source and has the ability and the free will to choose. Right?
Hmm. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. What is the essence of love and how do we embody it in our daily lives?
Okay. The essence of love is actually a vibrational frequency.
Hmm.
And the vibrational frequency of love and light are interchangeable.
Hmm.
Right? And so the highest level of love, and we've spoken about this before, being agape, which is source love, God love, the highest level of love. For a human to experience that would be very difficult, almost devastating, because it's such a high vibration. And so love, agape, is kind of stepped down in the collective consciousness for this planet, so that everyone has access to it, but it's not going to uh you know blow anything up.
Mm. Yes,
Right?
yes.
And so it is it is the highest level. It's the highest thing to choose in life.
Mhm.
Right? It's the highest thing for the soul to choose, is to choose the higher level of love, essence, you call it. How do you
Mhm.
put it to work in your life? Well, for channels and healers, you are the vessel and it flows through. For
Mm.
those of you who don't think of yourselves as healers or channels, you also can be the vessel and allow it to flow through. You can consciously anchor it upon the planet.
Mhm.
Begin to feel into the vibration, strengthen it in your own life, and anchor it into your relationships, right? Be that mirror, be that reflection to all around you as to what's truly possible. And that is the essence of love, right? What is truly possible.
Yes.
There
Mhm.
is no impossibility
Mhm.
in love.
Mhm. So, why do some people deviate from love?
For the experience.
Mm.
And people come to this lifetime to have different soul contracts and to work through those things. Many times, the soul contract with another or with many creates a self-doubt. It creates not feeling worthy. It creates that feeling of not being enough. And through that is where people tend to shut down the light, shut down the vibrational frequency. And people who are struggling with those things, and you have seen it, they have a lower vibrational frequency until they begin to heal and shift and change their frequency. And that
Mhm.
comes through intention and work with people like you, beloved one, right?
Mm.
To
Mhm.
understand the wounds and heal them.
Mhm.
Right?
Mm. Thank you.
Yeah. It's all God, right? It's all
Yeah.
love if you can perceive it that way. But it, on the human level, is difficult. It is difficult.
Mhm. Yes, thank you.
Indeed.
Mm. Um, Metatron, there is a question here from someone asking, why do some prayers seem unanswered?
We're going to sound like a broken record today.
Okay.
Okay, so sometimes it's how you're praying, right? It's not necessarily what you're praying for, but the place from which you pray, right?
Mm.
If you
Yeah,
are praying from that God I am aspect, right, there is a different resonance than if you're praying from that uh, crisis point, that
right.
trauma wound, different vibrational frequencies. And so the understanding that the soul is you know selecting the choices. So say you keep praying to win the lottery. We know many people that
Oh,
do.
sure.
Mm.
Sure.
If it is part of your soul's journey to have the experience of winning the lottery and what all that entails, then you will win the lottery.
Mm, okay.
You don't even have to pray for it, right? It
It
will
just
just
happened.
present itself if you buy your ticket, right?
Hmm.
But if it is not with within your soul's path to win the lottery, then you're not going to win the lottery, right?
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that you shouldn't still ask.
Hmm.
And we've been encouraging people lately to talk to the universe, talk to God in a different way, just to try it out. Show me monetary abundance, or show me how much money you can bring me this month. Show me instead of a prayer that is oftentimes kind of the energy of begging. Does that
Yes.
does
Yeah,
that
it's coming.
make
Yeah.
sense to you? Yeah,
Hmm.
particularly when it's something frantic, like a loved one being sick or something like that. And we understand that. But the the show me creates a space for the universe to actually reflect. And you might have some very distinct experiences by saying, okay, universe, please show me all my
Yes.
wealth or whatever it is that you are looking for. Show me a healthy, healed body.
Mm,
Right?
yes.
Show me my new red car. We have we had an individual who tried this, and they said that that's what they did. They wanted to test it out. And they said, okay, show me orange cars today. Now, how often do you see orange cars on the road? Not
Right.
too long, not too often from what we understand. And this individual saw three in one day and said, all right, there's something to this. right?
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
test it out on something that, you know, that the universe can show you really quickly. Orange cars is a great place to start. But
Mhm.
not all prayers are answered because it's not in alignment with your soul's journey. And you have to understand that some prayers relate to other people, other people's process,
Mm,
other people's actions. And that is not, there's soul contract there. So there's, you know, there's less success because it also entails someone else's journey.
mhm.
Does that make sense to you? When it's
It does.
just you, show me the orange cars. But as soon as you're praying and it's something that has to do with another individual or multiple individuals, it is more difficult. Not
Mm,
impossible,
not
not
impossible.
impossible, but it's important to look at the soul contracts or the soul journeys
Mhm,
together as you're maybe not receiving the answers that you hope for. And lastly, when people pray, they have an expectation.
true. Mhm. Yes.
And expectation is not always met. To put it out raw, like we talk about channeling, right? Bringing the information through, not thinking about how it's going to sound and just bringing it out raw.
Mhm,
It's a little bit like that, to let go of the ego aspect of the prayer, to let go of the expectation of timing, the expectation of how it's going to look, because people get really specific when
mhm,
they're praying, right? So that is why
mhm,
people have the experience of not having some of their prayers answered.
mhm. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
One of my favorite things to affirm is it's so broad, and that's why I love it so much,
Mhm.
is how can it get any better than this?
Yes. Yes.
I love saying that, and it's across my computer. It's my screensaver, and I see it every day. I repeat it
Yeah,
every day, and it just shows up in so many different
right.
ways.
Show me how good my life can be. Yeah,
Yes.
that's brilliant. It creates, again, it creates a liminal space, which is a point of creation, right? Um, for the universe to kind of come in and say, okay, here you go,
Yeah.
right?
We'll show
Here you go.
you. We'll show you how much
We'll
better.
show you. We'll show you. We'll show you how good it can get, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I
All
love
good.
that.
Yes.
All right, we're going to change the channel here. There's
Ah,
a
we will take a sip of water.
y- okay. Yeah. So this is not a nice picture, but someone is asking and I was curious. The question is about the cow mutilations and why they are happening. I'm not sure where, but I do know that they have been happening for a very long time. What is behind it?
Well, unfortunately, your government is behind some of it. Why? Because it creates an insecurity, or it creates an emotional response, or it creates a fear response, right? Some of these things have been perpetuated by those that are uh, unstable mentally,
Okay.
right? there's no purposeful good to it at all.
Mm,
There's no purposeful good at all. And so it is you know, when it is the government, it is a control issue, right?
okay.
When it's human beings, it's a mental or unstable response.
Yes.
They think it's fun.
Wow.
Mm,
Mm,
yeah. So
okay.
it is
Wow.
heartbreaking, right? And it's
Mm,
not just, cattle. There's other things as well that you're not hearing so much about,
mhm, mhm. Okay.
right?
All right.
Yeah.
There's also rumor that
Mm.
extraterrestrial beings might be behind it too. Is this false?
Well, we like logic, right?
Yes.
We
Okay.
like logic. And ask yourselves, because everybody's going to have a different answer to this, ask yourself, what is the logic behind an extraterrestrial coming down and killing cows?
Right, right. Right.
Right? What's the purposeful good?
Hmm. Yeah.
Right? Unless it's something to create fear. Right? Uh,
Hmm.
So we would say to you that is it possible that there are some of those galactic beings that are working for the government that is slaughtering animals? Yeah, possible, right? But for Ashtar to come and butcher cattle, that is abhorrent to
Hmm.
most of the beings that would come to assist your planet.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And yes, there are some that are not here to assist,
Hmm.
but they are not the majority.
Okay.
They are the minority.
Hmm.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
Metatron, what happens right after we transition?
All right.
Hmm.
So imagine that you take an inhale, it is your last inhale.
Hmm.
And as you exhale, you find yourself quicker than your eye can blink back in the heart of Source.
Hmm.
There's no time, there's no space. It is but a breath.
Hmm.
You pick up a breath on this side and exhale it, and then you pick up a breath on the other side and exhale it, right? There's no time, there's no space. It is
Okay.
it is immediate.
Hmm. And then what? What
Well,
happens after that?
then the soul takes some time being part of the whole of God
Yeah.
until there is the decision to take another journey, to have another experience,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this does not impact at all individuals that can speak to those that have crossed or communicating with your loved ones. These are two different things that we're looking at. There,
Mm-hmm.
there. Some people think that, spirit hangs around, looks at themselves from the ceiling,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but there's no place else to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a real consideration that we would like people to think about when Metatron is not in this form speaking to you like this. Where is Metatron? We don't pack up and go someplace. We are consciousness. We are everywhere. We are in everything, as are you. You are divine consciousness, as is Metatron and Michael and all of the beings that you
Mm,
love, right?
mhm.
There's no place to go.
Right.
You are just in that instant reminded, oh yeah, I'm God,
Mhm.
right? You don't have to think that anymore. Don't have to read any more books. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
I love that.
is that
Thank you.
helpful?
Yes. Yes,
Good.
it is.
Good.
Yeah. Here's a question. Is there a divine plan for humanity?
Yes, yes and no.
Okay.
There, there, how do we explain this to you? There's in other dimensions, on other planet systems, there's always a plan,
Okay.
right? In the heart of God, there's always a plan, but the plan doesn't always look or sound like what a human would think that the plan would be,
Mhm.
right? The the plan in place is to have all of these experiences, to suffer, to experience bliss, to give birth, to die, all of these different things, right? Which expands consciousness. And that's the big plan, right? And the big plan here upon this planet is to remember who and what you are.
Mhm.
That's the big plan. And so, because that's kind of the plan for Earth, there are those that come from other places to assist you to be able to remember who and what you are, because then, boom, you're expanding, and then they're expanding, and God is expanding,
Mm.
right? It's like
Mhm.
a it's like a dance,
It,
like a
yeah.
waltz,
Mm.
right? Like a waltz.
Mhm. Yes.
Kind
I
of
just
boring. Is
no,
that
I
boring?
no, I it's it's obviously we want to remember, right? But
Yes.
there's so much suffering and so much chaos.
Yeah.
So many people saying, "I am done. I am not coming back." And I know that that is their human. I've said it. It's like, why?
Mm,
Send me somewhere more just quiet, please.
yeah.
Let me
Some
evolve
place
over
someplace
there.
fun, right? Right,
Yes.
right, right.
But then
Yeah.
but then am I not also doing that? Haven't you
Yes.
said I am in different places right now?
Yes. Right.
Can you tell me if I'm experiencing joy somewhere else? Like really?
Yes.
Yes.
You're experiencing joy, you're experiencing grief, you're experiencing the full range of emotions
Mhm.
because, you know, you are mm, omnipotent, omnipotent, right?
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, you are. You you know what the feeling of grief is like here in
Mhm.
in this realm. Do you know what grief feels like in a different planetary system?
No.
No, no. Do you know what joy feels like someplace else? No.
Mhm.
It's all, it all depends on how you're looking at things, how you're experiencing things. You
Mhm.
experience it one way here.
Mhm.
In another dimension, it's a totally different way, right?
Yes.
It doesn't take away from your experience here. It could add to it. And
Mhm.
your experience here definitely adds to experiences in other places, right? It never detracts, it only
Mhm.
adds.
Mm. I like
So,
that.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
a good thing to remember.
Mhm.
You think of yourselves as what we say puny humans sometimes.
Aw.
Mm. And you are the furthest thing from that, but you feel disempowered. You feel at the
Yes.
effect of everything, right?
Mhm.
And and here, that's the journey to find out that you're God, even with all of that going on, right?
Mhm.
So we would say that it takes great courage for the soul to come and take a life here,
It
right?
does.
It takes great courage, great tenacity. It takes
Mhm.
great faith and trust in Source to allow itself to forget
Mhm.
and then remember that it is God.
Mhm.
So this world, this place is not for the faint of heart. And
Mhm.
you are
Yep.
all, no matter what situation you are in, you're all doing a beautiful job.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Mhm. All right. So we have a question here about Noah with the ark. The question is, was Noah real, and why was it important to preserve specific animals and people during the flood?
All right. Yes, Noah was real,
Hmm.
right? And what you may find moving forward upon your planet, that, you know, the waters and the planet is shifting, you might find more arcs being built. It will be easier with your technology these days, right? And you have to understand that Noah took what was there, right? He took what was there. He couldn't take, where he was living, he couldn't take something from around the world
Right.
unless God had managed to bring a set. So Noah took what was there. And also the number of species upon the planet at that time were fewer. The animal kingdom has evolved as well.
Yes.
So, so Noah took what was there. Noah took what God told him to take.
Hmm.
Noah was a good listener,
Mm.
trusted his intuition, and listened to the voice of God.
Hmm.
Saved his family, saved the animals.
Yeah.
Noah was a hero, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
What would have happened if he hadn't have listened?
Is there a reality of that? Is there a Noah that didn't listen and
Of course,
everything changed?
of course.
What does that timeline look like?
Okay. That looks like, someone who didn't trust their instincts and intuition, somebody who could only see the impossibilities of creating an ark and bringing the animals on board.
Mm.
How will we feed them? How will we clean up the messes? How will we, you know, all of that, right? And so
Yeah.
they didn't act. They allowed their fear, they allowed the impossibilities to keep them from following God's voice and what their intuition was telling them. And
Mhm.
so the earth was flooded, and God just started over in a different way. Because really,
Wow.
that's what happened. Noah created a, let's call it a shortcut for God to start over again, to repopulate the earth. God would have repopulated it anyway,
Mm.
it would have just looked differently.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow.
Yeah, of course. Of course. There's there's timelines for each and every one of you out there
Right.
where you're experiencing something here and you're experiencing the polar opposite of that somewhere else.
Mhm. Mm. Yeah.
We encourage you to listen for the voice of God. Right?
Yes.
Listen to that inner voice, that knowing,
Mhm.
so that the whole planet does not have to be destroyed.
Mhm. Mhm. Interesting. It brings me to a personal question that I'm willing to share here.
Okay.
There was a period of time um, earlier this year that I was having reoccurring dreams over and over and over and over. That I was waking up at my old house in my old bedroom when I was married in my old bed, and it kept happening. I kept waking up and I was there. But as I woke up, I knew this is not my life. I don't live here. Why am I here? It was almost a panic.
Right, right.
What and what was happening that I kept going back to that room? And in fact, one time I got up, I found a robe in the bathroom, put it on. I walked down the hall and I saw my ex-husband there. And he just looked at me and I said, "Why am I here? I don't live here. This is not my house. This is not my life."
Right.
So what was that about and why was
Mm.
I on repeat?
Okay. So that's a beautiful representation of the understanding that there is no past, there is no future. It's all happening in the now,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so you were living multiple timelines
Mhm.
in the same moment,
Mm.
right? You were living that timeline and you're living your where you are currently.
Mhm.
And that happens more frequently than you know, right?
Yes.
Because but it happens all the time in the dream state. Our channel earlier in the year as well would uh, be in a dream and wake up and complete the dream awake. Oh
Mm.
yeah, complete conversation, complete the connection with whoever was in the dream state, and and then go, wait a minute, that was weird. So it really is a great understanding that everything happens at once, right?
Yes.
And that what happens in your dreams is happening in reality.
Mm.
People don't understand dreams very
Mhm.
well at all, right? It is just another way for your consciousness to connect with those different places that you're living, those different lives that you're
Yes.
living, those different experiences
Mm.
that you're having. Right?
Yes, yes, because sometimes, you're in a dream and you're at a party and you're like you don't know anybody there. There's like, who are these people? Who are these
Right?
people? So I might be just tapping into another one of my realities where there's
Yes,
just different
yes,
people.
right,
Mm.
right. Or
So,
it could be the same people, but they have a different physical appearance.
okay. Ah, yes. Like you're married and then it's like, who is this? This is not my husband or wife.
Right,
But
right.
they look
Could
different.
be the same soul, different appearance, because,
Yes.
one soul, many bodies, one soul, many dimensions, one soul, many lifetimes, because there's
Mhm.
only one soul.
Okay.
Now, there's going to be a lot of people that go, oh, no, right, we don't believe that. And that is fine.
Mhm. Mhm.
When they take that inhale after they've transitioned, they'll get a good giggle.
You see it all there?
Mhm.
Mm,
Absolutely.
mm,
All of those questions that couldn't be answered here because you don't have the bandwidth,
right.
right? No matter how brilliant someone is, you're never as brilliant as God,
Mm,
right?
mhm.
So, yes, I hear somebody saying, but we are God. You're not able to access that level of wisdom or understanding in
Yes.
your physical form, right? But as soon as you're not in physical anymore, you can see it all.
See it all.
You
Yeah.
know it all. You remember it all,
Mm, mhm.
right? Mm.
But my ultimate question is, why did I keep going back there? Is she okay? Is that Myra? Is she okay? Why did I keep going there?
No, it's a
It
good
makes me
question.
wonder if she needs help.
So what would you do if she needed help?
I would give her a message, a very clear message.
Yeah.
Because that's how I
And
got
that's
here. That's how I got here to this reality.
right. And that is absolutely possible to do. And remember, some people do work in working with their inner child, or some people will go and sit in a beautiful place and have a conversation with their soul, their higher self. All of
Mm,
these things are real, right? And so you can call your past or your future self to come and talk to you.
mhm, mhm. I've done that
Offer
in my
Offer
sessions.
what you know. You've done it.
Yes.
Good,
Yeah, yeah.
good. Right?
Mhm,
Offer the wisdom that you have now.
mhm,
Right? And perhaps another aspect of your soul did that for you back then to get you here and now.
mm, mhm. Wow. Mhm. That's something, Metatron. Yeah. I wanna cry
Yeah.
right now.
Mm.
That's beautiful.
Right. Right.
Mhm. Wow.
Mm.
Yeah,
Are
it
you
all
all right?
becomes yeah, yeah. Yeah, because there was a voice that I heard, and it was very clear of what I needed to do. It was so loud, it jolted me from my sleeping state. And I looked to see who that was. And there was no one there.
You were there. Your soul was there.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Mm,
Hmm.
it's beautiful. All right. Well, that answers that. That's a
Mhm.
big one for me. Yeah.
Or it opens up possibilities, right?
Yes, yes. Mm,
The idea of being sovereign. Everybody has a perception in their mind as to what it means to be sovereign, to be God I am.
mm,
And these experiences are a direct reflection of your sovereignty, your God I am. And yet it's hard for the human aspect to be able to understand. And
mm,
that's okay, right? Because understanding is different than remembering.
mhm.
Understanding usually starts with the question why.
Right.
Understanding, right, is all about the please show me, show me.
Mm,
So
beautiful. Yeah.
perhaps this has opened something for you to take a deeper look at. And perhaps you will then be able to share with those individuals that you work with what you have found to be true.
Mhm, mm. Thank you.
Indeed.
Mm,
Our pleasure.
mm. So we've talked a lot about source and our connection to source, and I was wondering, we have not um, brought source through you. Does source have a message for us today? Mm,
The source is really bringing a a a spiral energy down to wrap around all that are listening today.
mhm,
And there's the misconception that you cannot go to source and have conversation or ask for guidance, that you must have, other guides to take care of that for you. And source is really reminding you that you are welcome home at any time. You will
mm,
be held, you will be loved, you will receive sustenance so that your journey here can continue in a different way. That you will always feel supported, always know the presence of God in your life, however that looks for you. And Source is reminding everyone that there is what might be in the human consciousness, the idea that there has been separation from source or from God. And source is saying that that is the illusion, that no matter where you go, no matter what galaxy, no matter what timeline you're on, you're always connected source. You will never not be part of that.
mm,
And that is what Source would like to share today.
mhm.
Yeah. Does that make a little sense?
Yes, yes, it does.
And hopefully people will find it helpful.
Yes, I think it will. Hmm.
Good.
Yeah. What final advice do you have for us, Metatron?
Yeah. You have some bumpy months coming ahead of you.
Hmm.
And so we would like you to be prepared for the bumps. when you know that things are going to get bumpy, you can take a little time to prepare yourself, right? Whether you're going to prepare your physical space, whether you're going to have some extra water and food on hand, whether you're going to do something different with your monies, all of these things, right? Or things that you can do to take care of you during these next, let's say, 6 months. There's going to be some chaotic behavior upon your planet, more chaotic than you've already seen.
Wow.
And there is the light shining into the darkness, right? And chaos ensues. So that which is not light is being drawn into the light, right? It's ascending. But what happens mm, in in your little bubble of this planet, right? It it looks like war. It looks like destructive energies. And so we are not telling you that there's going to be a war in your backyard, but be prepared for whatever may come,
Mhm.
right? Do you have the power to shift and change things? You do. But it's not doing something out there. It's all about how you're anchoring your God I am, how you're anchoring your light here into 3D. The more of you that are consciously doing that every day, you raise the vibrational frequency of this planet and you allow a different outcome. So please don't think that there's nothing you can do.
It's a good
Anchor
reminder.
that light, anchor the truth of who you are
Mhm.
here and
Mhm.
now. Mhm.
Thank you.
Indeed,
Thank you so much for today.
indeed.
Mm.
Always our pleasure, beloved one. We will look forward to seeing you again soon. Yeah?
Yes, we will.
Yes. All
Bye
right.
for now.
Yes. Goodbye for now. Namaste.
Namaste, Metatron. Welcome back. Welcome
Ah,
back.
ah,
That
thank
was
you.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
really interesting. Yeah,
Oh, oh, good. I'll go back and listen.
you're going to want to.
Back and listen. I
Hmm.
don't know that people understand that I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned that, and it's a good
Yeah.
reminder to remind us.
There's positive and negative to that, right? There's two
Hmm.
different polarities.
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
be great to remember, but sometimes the remembrance means that we're in the way a little bit. So,
yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah,
thank you again, Wendy.
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate it, and have a wonderful, safe trip.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the magic of Sedona.
Yes,
I can hardly wait.
I know. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yep.
All right.
I'll
Until
bring it back.
next time,
All right. Thank you. Namaste.
namaste.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.